All right, welcome back. Still the conversation this afternoon on Quest Television, and honestly, we've been having a good conversation. We're discussing youth and nation building. Now, the reason why we're having this conversation is because we know that not just the fact that 70% of the younger population, of the young population of Nigeria, rather, made up of young people, but the fact that Nigeria desperately needs the younger generation. So we'll be tackling a lot of issues in this next segment. Thank you very much, Miracle Samuel, for your time.
Thank you, sir.
My question, like I told you, is the government of today building the Nigerian youth for the future?
If I must be blunt.
That's why we're having a conversation.
If I must be blunt and very sincere, no, it should be the answer. Because if you check the systems and structures they are bringing up to tell you that they want the youth to be part of it, we are not actually part of it. Verify every segment of what is going on in the nation. We are not actually part of it. They are not intentionally, because if they are intentional about the youth, we have to be in some spaces. Go to Federal House of Rep. How many youth are there? That's fine. Local government council. All the strata of government. Check. So it's looking like a fight. That's why I used that conflict perspective. Because the society believes that groups of people are fighting for power. So the elite, they see the youth as people who are not yet capable.
Do you think it's about whether the younger population is capable, or they see the younger population as a threat?
That's the problem. They see the younger generation as a threat. So they believe that the youth are full of power, full of strength. So we can turn the nation upside down. That's the truth. So they see us as a threat. But that's a wrong perspective from their end, because the youth, now Nigeria as a nation, we are over 70% we are youths. So the truth of the matter is we are supposed to be active builders of the nation, not beneficiary. That's why as the nation is coming forward now, these same people will still use the youth. So at least this is a call to the youth and a summon to the youth. We have to know, most times people don't know their worth. We are the owners of the nation, regardless of the fact that we are not yet in power. But the day you begin to see yourself as those who are the owners of the nation, there are certain things you won't take. There are certain peanuts you won't take because of your value. So I think there's going to be reschooling. We have to unlearn certain things, because by the time maybe election is coming, they're giving you 5,000 to vote for them, and you stand and say no matter what happens. It becomes a bigger threat to them. But they know at the end of the whole day, when they come with that offer, take $1 million, you will have to drop your quest for whatever you want to do and follow them suit. At the end of the whole day, we repeat the same cycle. So looking down on education sectors, looking down on many things that have been set in the nation, there is no intentionality. From the outside, it looks like they are interested in the youth, but there is no intentionality to ensure that this guy move from this level to this level. When we are young, they told us that the youth are I keep hearing where we had the futures of tomorrow. The tomorrow is coming and is going. And the same people we call their names while we are growing up, most of us are in our 20s. They are still craving for power. The truth of the matter is, when we discover the power of making of kings, kingmakers don't necessarily become kings. So these guys should understand that there's a place of mentorship. If the youth can be mentored, give them leverage. Let them bring them in. Whoever you raise can never turn against you. At a certain point, there could be disputes.
That's debatable, though, because there are one or two examples I can point now, especially in the political sector, of people who say, "Oh, I raised you and made you."
You see that word, check raising. Their raising is, there's even between empowerment and raising. Now, for example, for my ambition, maybe I'm a sitting governor.
Okay.
I'm looking for somebody that will continue from where I stopped. You have been maybe in civil service, or maybe in your firm. I find you deemed as a humble and faithful person, so I brought you up. So their definition of I raise is help, and anybody you help and the person feel less dignified, you have not helped the person. It's as simple as that. So most of those things you hear on social media, on television, that the people I help, they are not able. No, these are people they want to use to fulfill their selfish
And then when
agenda.
they now realize that, oh, my eyes are now open,
Open.
this person actually used me instead of helping me.
It looks like a rebellion. So from the outward, we see it like a rebellion. But if you check the thoughts of inside, it does not help. If you mentor and properly raise a person, it's very difficult. Just like our parents. No matter how poor and broke they are, they might not give you the best, they may not send you the best of schools. But for the fact that they gave you shelter, you ate in their house, no matter how far you go, there's a point in there's a part where you have to, these guys are my parents, I have to. There's this indebted we feel to them because intentionally over the years they see us through past primary, secondary, university, and we are out of institution. So if they can bring up a platform where they raise and equip young people, the country will become a better place.
Okay. Corruption is often blamed on the older generation. Let's look into the future in just 2 or 3 minutes. If today's youth take over leadership tomorrow, what guarantees if they would perform well? What guarantees if they won't be part of the corruption? What's that guarantee in the youth of today that you are seeing? You get the question, because the Nigerian youth will tell you, oh, this governor is corrupt, this governor is corrupt, this minister is corrupt, this one is this. But what is that guarantee that the youth that is saying this governor is corrupt in the next 15, 20 years becomes a governor will not be corrupt? What is that guarantee?
I think we have to look down to the grassroots. You know, this corruption of his stuff. I'm smiling. You know, most times we point at the leadership, point at the top. This is how it's happening. But when we check our day-to-day activity, a youth or a young person who I wanted to say something funny actually, who finds maybe malpractice, exam malpractice, you don't find it as a wrong thing. This is what you did. You have points to cover it up. How sure are we that by the time you step into power, you're going to change overnight? Just like I would tell my people, I would tell them that I don't believe in my year of this and that. I'm a minister of the gospel, yes, but I don't believe in that. I believe in power of daily routines. You can't have a successful week without having a successful day. And there is no successful month without successful weeks. And there is no successful year without successful month. It's as simple as that. So it's like a compound effect. So by the time we see your activities, okay, most of the guys did not current, they are SUG presidents. You go and see what is happening in SUG in our various schools. We have to be schooled again what leadership is all about. It's not an escape from poverty. So I think the average people, they see politics as an escape from poverty. So the time you see that this is service to the people, then you know that you don't need to wait till you enter politics to start making your millions. You have to start. You should show us your track record. If you don't have a track record, we shouldn't trust you with power. It's as simple as that. These are basic factors we have to begin to checkmate on who can be able to stop corruption in this country. What are your track records? What have you been able to do from your secondary level, your university level, maybe your business or where you work? How sure are we that when you step into power, if you have not been faithful in that employment that pays you peanuts, how will you be? How can we vouch for you that you're going to be corrupt free when you get to power? So if we must eradicate corruption in nation building, I think we have to check the track record. You don't promise me you're going to do this. I have to check what you have done when nobody was seeing you. So what you do when nobody's seeing you, what you do, that's what I said last time, what we do on social media is a reflection of who we are. There are some what they post on social media is a reflection of when they get to that place, they will do worse than what we are complaining. So there should be, let's check track record. I think maybe if the country becomes a better place in the future, we are praying for the nation. I'm sincerely praying for the nation. We believe that this nation will work. So there should be yardstick on electing leaders. What is their track record, their financial? I think I heard there are certain countries if you want to move into, they have to check your transaction, your financial.
Even
Yes,
your social media.
yes, check your social media. These are things we have to do to ensure that we elect. We might not get 100%, but at least 80 to 90%.
Let's talk about the Olodo Uprising. Before we started this conversation, we talked about it a little bit, but somebody said there is Olodo Uprising, and I know that he was specifically speaking to the younger people, not the older generation. A few days ago, I was reflecting and I asked myself a very simple question. Now I know that this time differ. The likes of Chinua Achebe did not have tools like we have right now. The likes of Chimamanda, I don't think she's using, even though she's still a writer today. Or let me go back a little bit. The likes of Wole Soyinka, the Shakespeares of this world, and you can name them. They did not have
All these tools.
all these tools that we have now and then, even though time differ. But there are definitely things within their dispensation that they could hold on to. But these things happened 20th century, some of them in the early 90s or 80s or even 70s or 60s. But this is 2026 and we're still referencing their materials. They will tell you want to do a research work, for instance, you have to reference, go back in time to reference. When you look at Nigeria and this Olodo Uprising, what will you say? Nigerian youth and the Olodo Uprising, what will you say? Do you think the person that said that was actually spot on?
The first time I heard that, it's just like I was looking for. I was thinking about that too. But the minute I heard that, I will tell you that whoever that said that, that is what is the person's on spot, and that's the situation in the country. Just like you mentioned, some great writers. As good as these tools we have the benefits, but there's a thin line between these modern tools and laziness. These modern tools, the AI, as powerful as they are, there's a thin line between these stuffs came to make life easier. But if it's not handled well, you will end up becoming a lazy person. It's as simple as that. So the Olodo Uprising, I think, this is the situation of the country. There are names I won't call, but I tell you that if the country was properly working, there are people that should be quarantined. Yes. As simple as that. But the side of the coin is that these people that should be quarantined, they are role models to our young people. Because of success. So that's why when I said that we have to redefine success. We have to redefine success. It's good for a young man to establish on time, have the best of cars, but we have to checkmate what does he do.
The process that leads
because if we don't do this thing, our children will grow up to see scam and fraud as a way of life. So we are celebrating. I think we are celebrating mediocrity. Once the person has money, you don't know how he speaks. You don't care the track record. Once there is money, he can dash you 1 million at a spot. He's successful. No, that's not success. So we have to reschool our people, because at this point I will celebrate mediocrity. People that should be in rehab are schooling people that went to the 4 walls of the university. So the system is, and I think we have to make a system to reward intentionality. When I was in school, there was a scene I won't mention the particular school, but when I was in school, we had the best graduating student, and the person that won Miss so and so. So the guy who came out as the best graduating student, if I tell you the amount that was given to him as an award, and the one that was Mr. and Miss. So when I saw that scenario, I said, the truth of the matter is we are the one powering the Olodo Uprising. Now, look at the 6 year. No, intentionally, even some of the people talking about it, we are the ones empowering.
We are creating a system.
We are creating a system so that by the time our younger people are growing up, okay, check somebody who came out as the best graduate student, and the person that probably you twerked, you danced, like you danced, did some exhibition, you are given ₦1 million as an award, and the best graduate student is given 10,000.
That burnt his midnight candle.
Yes, 10,000. You, as an upcoming person, which route should you take? This looks like a more successful one at the end of the whole day, and that's why all of us are chasing this. At the end of the day, you see that our people are we are not measuring on the minor and minoring on the major. So this is, I think this is the where we navigated to the Olodo Uprising, where we begin to celebrate things that are not of value. Because we want they say all that glitters are not good. It's not in this our generation. This current dispensation, all that glitters are good. Once you look successful and you say it, you have fat bank accounts, you have a large following, people are following you massively, and we despise. Now check the people you referenced. It's not as if maybe they wrote more than the people we are celebrating. The truth of the matter is these guys did this thing with deep sacrifices. They poured their heart into this work. But somebody will just be sitting in one place and you say I, and before you know you are an author. When you read, there are things I told my people when we went for a conference in Lagos. I said, even as a preacher, if what you are preaching is not first deep in your soul, it can't touch the next person. It must first affect you before. So when you just go to the screen and okay, I want to write a book on youth building, Papa Eya will give it to you.
Yes, sir.
You just say D-time. By the time people are, it cannot transform lives. So what we have to do, there's a proper way of using this app. That's why I say there's a thin line between these facilities, these tools, and laziness. So these tools are there to make you, not to erase your desires and the rest of things you have in your capacity. No, it came to add on. But currently now, we want it quick. So I think the Olodo Uprising, this is where it started for me, because we celebrate things that are not of value.
A more direct question. What do you think of President Bola Tinubu? What do you think of him?
Personally?
Yeah, because, okay, let me not add any other thing. What do you think of him?
Okay. The truth of the matter is that we are alive, right?
Yeah.
All right. If you
are living in Nigeria, you and I.
Yes.
So maybe our perception might differ. So, what do you think about him?
Let me be blunt.
Please be.
I think I see him as more of a kingmaker than being a king. At his age, he shouldn't have anything to do with being the president of this country. Sincerely speaking. He might have his good track records. I was not there. You get. But from what we are seeing currently, we are much more than this. Probably he has his good days, but being a leader has to do with, you have to be emotionally stable, intellectual. There are certain things I watch on TV when you ask the number one president of a country a question that should be answered correctly. This man is answering differently altogether. It baffles me. So personally, I don't have anything against him personally, because I don't know, he has not offended me anyway personally. But as a nation, I think the best thing to do is just give way for the younger people to do this. The first thing is almost ending. Let's check where Nigeria was and where the country is currently. Everybody in Nigeria knows. We might have our personal interests. That's the truth. So, because we have tagged politics as a game of personal interests, that's where we are. That word, local, is a proof. It is a statement that drives us away from true democracy. It shouldn't get to the point where a position asks No matter what he does, maybe it is good parts. Yeah, maybe there are many good things he's doing. But for the fact that the mandate was bought or gotten from the perspective of his mentor, I don't support that. For me, this was where I say no. Personally, things as the president of the nation shouldn't be done. It shouldn't be too ambitious to come to a point that you are saying it's not. It shouldn't be your turn. The people should decide. That is true democracy. But for you to come up and say it's your turn, and you have to do everything to ensure you are there, it means that it's more of selfish interest than the people. And the truth of the matter is, when you come to power with such mentality, you are likely not going to do anything impactful.
On the final note, 2 questions in one. If you had the privilege of sitting with Mr. President, and let's say you are the Minister of Youth, for instance,
All right.
what will you tell him on behalf of the young people of Nigeria? And then the second question, just take them 2 in 1. What is your message to the younger population of Nigeria, the youth? What will be your message to them?
All right. The first one, what I would tell Mr. President on behalf of the youth, they should make avenues for the youth to participate. There is a difference between to integrate and associate. Probably, like I used to tell people that we can work together, but we are not working together. That is W-O-R-K. Probably work brought us together, but we are not actually working together. So our association is based on what we are doing, the tax we have to. So we have to bring in the youth. You have to bring in the youth to various strategic sectors where they can be part. The youth are not part of this. Most of the people that were in Senate when I was in primary school, secondary school, they are still in Senate. So it doesn't make sense. So some of the guys there should be retired because they have offered their quota to the nation. So what they are doing there is just to. That's the truth. So let's start from that aspect. So what I can tell him is, sir, we have to retire some of these guys. I'm telling you for a fact, there are names I can call now that is popular in the nation. When I was in secondary, these guys have been in Senate till date. And if you check the way the place they are representing, not much difference. Same story every year. These are practical things we see. I think people can attest to this. These guys have been so at the point they have plateaued. So nothing more. It's just every 4 years they come to the ballot. They have their ways of doing it. They get in again after 4 years again. It's just like there's no passion again. And whatever that is not dear to you cannot be dear for you. So most of them don't have these things again. They are just there to pass time. So they should be resigned. I don't know how they're going to do, but these guys should be pushed out and give room for the young people. Then my advice to the young Nigerians like me is, let's build capacity intentionally. Because when this privilege will be, when this baton will be handed on to you, what will you do with it? It's as simple as that. So we know, you know yourself more than I do, that if what you're like, there are certain things I tell people, are you really preparing for what you are praying for? We are praying for a new Nigeria, right? But if, okay, they say the elites, the old men, the older generations, they are out of the way and we are coming in. When we come in, what actually value are you going to bring to the platform? So the advice I can give to my fellow Nigerian youth is, let's build capacity beyond the walls of social media. Because it is the value that you will bring to the table that will make the difference. It's as simple as, because life will present you opportunities to do this. By the time we favor power, miracles can bring you to the stage, but it is your value that will sustain you there. So whatever sector you are, in politics, in economy, in family, ensure that you are building capacity. Because one of these days, the chapter will be opened, and so that you will not repeat the same old mistake. Because we are busy shouting change. We need a new Nigeria. But if you look down on the people that want the new Nigeria, personally, are we collaborating? There's a room for collaboration. Everybody will not need. So we have to come together, collaborate together, and bet a new Nigeria. And it will start from where you are. Where you are working, what is the record? We have character, we have competence. Can your boss vouch for you? Or you are doing the job. Purpose, survivor is the enemy of purpose. And whenever you come to the point whereby your problem is survivor, you will miss the true essence. So I think we have to leave the point of survivor to the point of making real impact. Even when it seems as if we are doing nothing, go back and build capacity.
Well, that is a strong message to the Nigerian people. Go back and build capacity. Well, the destiny of this great nation, it has been said that by 2030, 2050, Nigeria will hit a population of 350 million. So if we are to govern this nation or guide the affairs of this nation properly, we need the younger generation to be prepared, to be equipped, not just protesting or talking on social media, but building capacity so that when the time comes, they're able to manage the affairs of this nation. Thank you very much, Miracle Samuel, for your wonderful take on this topic this afternoon.